everyone, this is Paige Hebert, and I decided to make a brand new type of topic of a video to talk about. And normally I don't do these kind of videos, but I'm definitely going to get a lot more political than usual. I need to remind people about this charity that most people know. Charity is too nice of a word to say. Let's call this so-called charity a scam, because I can tell you right now, this so-called charity is something I despise ever since I got out of high school. And I can tell you right now, it is one of those charities that actually make me sick every time I hear about it. Now, for those who don't know, considering that April is the month for autism awareness, I've actually never really been a big fan of it for many reasons. This actually kind of awareness month actually started with a so-called charity, as a little charity known as Autism Speaks, because let me tell you, this is coming from somebody who actually is in the mild autism spectrum herself, who cannot stand Autism Speaks. There are actually plenty of videos online about people, even who are in the autism spectrum, actually ranting about this so-called charity, but you can literally go through any of the videos. Most of them are pretty well factual. Just everything that these people are saying about Autism Speaks is correct, because this charity is so horrible that every time I just hear these people do this so-called business, it makes me sick to my stomach. I've actually found a website where there's literally a bunch of articles where there are people that have talked about how much they can't stand Autism Speaks, and there have actually also been articles that people have actually sued Autism Speaks for how much it has actually hurt their child or themselves, because I can tell you right now, this is not a charity everybody should be on with. In fact, actually, I'm very against it for multiple reasons. For one, this so-called charity is not something we should be donating. This is actually a corporate business. In fact, only 3% of that money only helps people in the autism spectrum. The rest actually just goes to everybody's paycheck. If you actually look it up, it is ridiculously high on how much the rest goes on to the business, how much it goes on to everybody's paycheck. And guess what? The people who works at Autism Speaks, none of them have ever been in the autism spectrum. I'm not even joking. In fact, this actually makes me so angry that I might actually feel like blowing up while recording this right now. I'm sorry, this is just one of those things where I have to talk about. This is just one of those businesses. Yeah, let's just call Autism Speaks as a business. That's all it is. It's not even a charity. Let's just call it that. I can just tell you right now, there are so many people against it, especially in the autism community. They find this very insulting, not only to their intelligence, but also just them financially and just everything about their mental health. Speaking of YouTube videos I have found, there were two videos I was actually interested. One is from a small YouTuber right here that doesn't have that much subscribers, but she made a very good video analysis why autistic people actually dislike this so-called charity, and she actually made a really good point on one clip right here.
A lot of their money actually goes into marketing their organization and, you know, salaries of their CEOs and people like that. So up until recently, maybe I think it was 2016, correct me if I'm wrong, their mission still included the cure and finding cures of autism. So they're very outdated, and they don't speak for autistic people. They don't have autistic people on their board. They've had an autistic person on their board before, but they didn't stay on their board very long, so...
Yeah, you heard that right. Only one person have actually worked there once and never went back there. What the hell does that tell you what Autism Speaks does? And also, I have to point out about this so-called charity, like what she said was correct, is mostly on their marketing, because if you look, there are so many commercials about Autism Speaks, which makes you really think whether or not they're actually helping. And when she said that they were trying to find a so-called cure for autism, for those who don't know, you cannot cure autism. Autism is not a disease. It is a social mental disorder that is caused in the brain. You cannot catch autism. In fact, actually, there's another YouTuber that actually even specifically said that. He's actually a more popular YouTuber, and technically he has Asperger's, but I like to talk about right here the mysterious Mr. Enter. He normally reviews like animated atrocities, but he actually made a video back in 2015 called Mr. Enter Speaks about Autism Speaks, and he says he pretty much despises it himself too. He actually reacted to a commercial that actually most people know, that actually I pretty much agree with him as well too, when he said about on their commercial.
I speak your language fluently, and with every voice I take away, I acquire yet another language.
Okay, the biggest autism-focused charity in the world doesn't know anything about autism. At all. I am autism and I speak your language fluently. Hey, dipshit. One of the biggest difficulties autistic people face is being able to communicate properly, even with their own families.
I work very quickly. I work faster than pediatric AIDS, cancer, and diabetes combined.
Can I see your sources, please? What the actual fuck? Autism works faster than pediatric diabetes, AIDS, and cancer combined. To do what? Oh, I'm not thinking about this from the right viewpoint. That's right. They're talking to parents who are paranoid that they aren't going to give birth to the most perfect children in the world. If your child has diabetes, AIDS, or cancer, it'll ruin your life completely. But if they have autism, it's going to ruin your life even faster. Never mind the child, it's going to ruin your fucking life. I don't even know what to say. This is just awful on every level. And yes, I know that it's a homage to, like, a 50s ad about polio or something. That doesn't make this any less disgusting.
I'm sorry, but they're both right. Those people have a very good point of what those clips I just showed you right there, because I can tell you right now, as somebody who's autistic myself, this is so goddamn insulting what Autism Speaks does. And even people who actually think like this in general. I swear to God, I mean, let me tell you right now, I know what it's like to have autism. I know how difficult it is for even me to come out and have my self-esteem, as most people do. And I know what it's like to stand up for myself. I didn't really start standing up for myself until after middle school. And I can tell you right now, what Autism Speaks does is insulting to our intelligence, not just people who are autistic, but just anybody in general. And to those parents who actually have a child who has autism, and to the ones that actually believes everything that Autism Speaks does, for one, you're gonna need to do a lot harder on your goddamn research to be a better parent and treat your child just like any other child as they like to be treated. You cannot categorize all people with autism who can't speak or can't do anything for themselves. Like I said, there's different spectrums of autism. I'm in the mild spectrum. I've always have been for years, ever since I was diagnosed with it, since I was not even 3 years old. But you know what did happen to me when I was first diagnosed? I actually went to a preschool that specialized kids who actually was in the autism spectrum. And I can tell you right now, those people treated those kids no different than any other child, and for many good reasons. And they did not insult our intelligence like Autism Speaks does. I know I got more angry than usual. This has always been one of those topics I've always wanted to talk about. I had to speak out what I was thinking. And there's definitely more information about how terrible Autism Speaks is right down in the description below. I actually left a website link for you guys to check out. And as for the logo of this business, let's change that. There we go. Yeah, this should be the logo. Autism Speaks. We only care about profit, not autism. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you guys actually learned something, and I'll see you guys next time.